Today I'm actually at my office again, and I should really start calling these series Logan's Office instead. And what I usually do at my office during the weekends is not actually work, but it's more like homework and like reading. I have a lot of classes right now that requires lots and lots of reading, which I actually don't really like reading, which is kind of odd because I was a librarian when I was in high school, and I promoted reading. So yeah. And when I actually say reading, I mean reading like fiction or these non-fiction stories. So when I was little, I was talking to a tutor, and he said, "What kind of books do you like to read?" And I said, "I like to read manual books." So yes, I like to read manual books, instructional things, something that actually means something, instead of these fictional stories, which has really no use in my opinion. Let me tell you why I don't like reading. When I read, I usually just read and I see names like Chuck Berry was a different case altogether. He would hear nothing from the front acts. Blah 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 blah. For me, when I read names, I just see it as a name. It says like A. A did this and that. And in reality, I really hate names. And so what I actually did for like one of my writings when I was in high school was replace all these names with like IKEA furniture names. So you go to IKEA.com and then you search for one of these Swedish furniture names and actually put those names instead of these regular Americanized or English names. So just to show you how I hate reading. And it's not really writing. I like writing. And also when I read, I feel like when I'm reading, the text gets smaller and smaller and smaller. So I don't like that. One thing I actually do to speed things up in reading is actually listening, or like audio version. But what can you do when you have your professor just uploads text online and tells you to read this when they're just like scanned? So what I actually do is actually have Adobe Acrobat do a ORC, or optical character recognition, and then the text is now actually text. So you can highlight them and copy them and put them to a program, and it could read the text aloud like this.
You can hardly read through the faint, typewritten text, but he recognized the scribbled signature at the bottom of the page. This was what the note said: "We have been drawn to a warning."
Yeah, listening to Samantha, otherwise the voice of Siri, I think, talked to me when I'm reading, so it actually speeds things up. I can actually read faster than that, than what Samantha taught at the rate that she talks, but sometimes it helps because I'm not so concentrated and I just like, I don't want to do this. Yeah, listening to someone read for you is easier than me reading, I think. And that's me in college. Yeah. Another reason why I don't like reading is physical books or physical reading materials. So for physical reading materials, you need to be either holding it, but then your arm later on gets tired, or you have a table and you put the book on the table, but then your neck is bending down, and by page 100 or 200, your neck is like in pain because it's like bent all day. So something funny I discovered from this jacket that I'm wearing is you can actually zip up this and it becomes a neck support. But the problem is it's kind of choking me with bending and it's hitting my neck. But it does help.